Hello friends. So I start with the second question of D category, that is marginal costing versus absorption costing. Let us read through the question and concentrate first on the marginal costing income statement, then on absorption costing income statement, and lastly, if needed, we'll be making a reconciliation which will reconcile the adjusted profits of the absorption costing with marginal costing profits. Going through this one, BC Limited can produce 4 lakh units of product per annum at 100% capacity. 100% capacity, they can produce 4 lakh units. The variable production cost 40 per unit, variable selling expense are 12 per unit. So if you add them, total variable cost per unit is 52. The budgeted fixed production expense 24 lakh per annum and fixed selling expense 16 lakh per annum. Under marginal costing, we add them. We don't go function wise classification in marginal costing. So under marginal costing, fixed cost total 40 lakh rupees. During the year ended 31st March 2008, company worked at 80% of capacity. 80% means 3,20,000 units are being produced and sold. No, sold are less. It is given later on. So there will be some stock also involved there. Production given there 3,20,000 units, which is 80% of the capacity of 4 lakh units. Sold at the rate of 80 per unit is 3,10,000 units. Means there is opening stock also 40,000. Means closing stock will be 50,000 units. 40,000 in the beginning, 320 produced, available for sale 3,60,000. You have sold 3,10,000. So balance 50,000 is here closing stock. When you are making income statement under marginal costing, we don't put any stocks there at all. Things are based on sold units. Production units are not relevant in my analysis. But that will be relevant when you make reconciliation statement and absorption costing statement. There it will be relevant. So let's go through easier statement first. Income statement under marginal costing. You are given sale 3,10,000 units at the rate of 80 per unit. That makes 2 crore 48 lakh. 2 crore 48 lakh rupees. Variable cost of what quantity? Of sale quantity. Repeatedly I have told you, under marginal costing income statement, variable cost is based on sold units, not production units. So here I am getting 3,10,000 multiplied by 52. From where did I get 52? 40 plus 12. 40 plus 12 is total variable cost per unit multiplied with 3,10,000 units. So I got there 1 crore 61 lakh 20,000. 1 crore 61 lakh 20,000. Sale minus variable cost is my contribution. So 86 lakh 80,000 is my contribution. Minus fixed cost 40 lakh. I am getting profit easily. I don't think much marks are devoted for marginal costing income statement because that is very, very easy. I am getting profit here 46 lakh 80,000. This is the profit under marginal costing. This is first part answer. On the basis of marginal costing, income statement has been made. Now comes more important thing, absorption costing. Absorption costing is more important. So focus on the same. It's going to be more relevant for your understanding and analysis. Cost sheet under absorption costing. We start with production units. We put all the cost based on production units. Add opening stock less closing stock, you get cost of goods sold. Add selling distribution, which is based on sale units. From there you get cost of sale, sale minus cost of sale, unadjusted profit, then adjustment of under over absorption, you will get adjusted profit, which will not be same as marginal costing. Then we make reconciliation statement adjusting the stock valuation differences. So concentrate here. First of all, production related cost, variable cost 40 per unit. On 3,20,000 units, on production units 40 per unit. Whatever figure you will get, you will put here. Now fixed production cost 24 lakh was there. Capacity was 4 lakh units. So absorption rate I calculate first. This is what? Absorption rate. And it is based on capacity production 4 lakh units. 24 lakh total, based on 4 lakh units, it becomes 6 per unit. 6 per unit, what you get? Multiplied by production units 3 lakh 20,000, I am getting 19 lakh 20,000. This is something you get much more in detail in chapter of overheads. How to do absorption and why it is based on capacity. Everything you get to know in the chapter called overheads. Here you are only getting the application. In cost sheet chapter also you understand this. In overhead you get the total details of overhead absorption concept. Having reached there, I am getting cost of production 1 crore 47 lakh 20,000. 1 crore 47 lakh 20,000. Add opening stock. Now opening stock as well as closing stock, they are based on same cost because last year cost data is not known. If I were given last year data, opening stock is based on last year cost, closing stock is based on current year cost. Could have been weighted average method, FIFO method, whatever. But in given case, in absence of information, last year cost is presumed to be same as current year cost. So current year cost per unit computed here, you can see here. 1 crore 47 lakh 20,000 divided by 3 lakh 20,000 units. This is 46 per unit. So opening stock based on 46 per unit. Closing stock, I told you computation there. Closing stock units 50,000. How did I get that? Opening stock 40, produce 320, available for sale 360. Out of that sold 310. Balancing figure 50,000 units are closing stock. Or you can say current year increase in stock is 10,000. You produce 320, you sell 310. There is increase in stock 10,000. Opening was 40, closing has to be 50. 50,000 units multiplied by 46 per unit. 46 per unit we computed the stock valuation rate for opening as well as closing. Once you calculate, you are getting cost of goods sold 1 crore 42 lakh 60,000. 1 crore 42 lakh 60,000 is cost of goods sold. Now selling distribution will be based on sold units. That is important. So selling distribution, the variable cost there, this is variable. 12 per unit on 3,10,000 units. The fixed cost I am not charging on absorption base, I am charging on actual base. The fixed cost was given at 16 lakh, I am charging whole of that here directly. So total cost selling distribution 53 lakh 20,000. Add in cost of goods sold, you get total cost 1 crore 95 lakh 80,000. 1 crore 95 lakh 80,000. Now sales are same, 3,10,000 into 80. Sale does not change in any statement. So what I get? Unadjusted profits. That is the important figure that I am going to get. Unadjusted profit. This is one of the answers of this second statement. But no, we have to reach adjusted profit also. Unadjusted means under over absorption is yet to be adjusted. Under over absorption happens only in fixed overheads, and that also in this question only in fixed production overhead. Selling overhead we have charged on actual basis. There is no under over absorption in that. In production overhead, how much did I charge? The fixed one. The fixed one I charged this figure 19 lakh 20,000. And how much was fixed production overhead amount? it was 24 lakh. Difference between 24 lakh and 19 lakh 20,000 is under absorbed production overhead. Why under absorbed? Absorbed is 1920, actual is 24 lakh. So I have under absorbed. I have charged less in this costing statement. That is my loss, which will be deducted from my unadjusted profits. So this is what is being shown here. Under absorbed production overhead 4,80,000. This is computation. Computation I am showing in more zoomed way. Actual 24 lakh, absorbed 19 lakh 20,000. It makes under absorbed production overhead 4,80,000. Once you deduct this from unadjusted profit, I am getting adjusted profit 47,40,000 is my adjusted profit. Did it match with marginal costing profit? No, marginal costing profit was 46,80,000. Why is that difference? The difference is due to difference in stock valuation. Closing stock and opening stock of absorption costing is overvalued to the extent of fixed production overheads. That is what I will adjust in reconciliation to complete the question. I start with adjusted profit less overvalued closing stock and absorption costing 6 per unit on 50,000 units. You may or may not be appreciating, under marginal costing, stock is getting valued at variable cost of production per unit, which was 40 per unit. Under absorption costing, we valued at 46 per unit. So 6 per unit is extra. 6 per unit on 50,000 unit closing stock is 3 lakh. 3 lakh was overcharged, overvalued closing stock in absorption costing. Closing stock is an income item on credit side of the income statement. So I have to reduce that income which was overvalued, 3 lakh. Opening stock 40,000 into 6, 2,40,000. This is add, because opening stock is expenditure side item. From there I am getting profit as per marginal costing, which is the ultimate reconciliation needed in the question. 46,80,000 is what I am able to reach. This was complete D2. Standard question on absorption versus marginal. Make income statement in marginal costing, make income statement in absorption costing. Their profits are not the same. Reconcile by making reconciliation statement. Only main item to adjust there is stock valuation differences. This was complete D2. Next one, D3. Next one, D3. You are given lots of data, and first point wants compute unit cost and total income under absorption costing, marginal costing, then calculate under over absorption of overhead. In third point he says reconcile the difference between the two incomes. So it's a standard question again. Little bit of adjustment is there with regard to overheads, but other than that it's a very simple question. So going through this, first is analysis under marginal costing. Under marginal costing we start with sale. Check out sale quantity 21,500 units, 168 per unit. Once you multiply, you get 36,12,000. 36,12,000 minus variable cost of sale quantity. We need to find out the planned variable cost per unit. There are some changes given in overhead that I will not consider here. I will put them separately. You planned how much? 16 material, 54 labor, 12 variable overhead. If you add these three, what you are getting is 82. In addition, selling distribution, selling administrative cost variable is there 20. Once you add it is 102 per unit. 102 per unit applied on sold units 21,500. This was all my normal costing basis variable cost. 21,93,000. Once you subtract, I get contribution of 14,19,000. Fixed cost planned again. Fixed overheads are there. In that it is written 6 rupees per hour. My planned hours, I need to check. Direct labor hours worked. Last item in the table given to us, 72,000 hours. 72,000 into 6, 4,32,000. Selling overhead. Fixed selling overhead given 7,60,000. Production I computed based on 6 per hour on 72,000 hours. Selling distribution directly given 7,60,000. 11,92,000. I am getting profit here. But this is not correct profit even under marginal costing. 2,27,000 is profit not correct under marginal costing. Reason, question is telling me bottom table, bottom paragraph, first line. Actual fixed overhead was 48,000 less than busted fixed overhead. Busted variable overhead was 20,000 less than actual variable overhead. So I want to put actual figures here. So I make one analysis here in this star. This is important. Additional adjustment given in question. Actual fixed overhead lesser than busted 48,000. Is this benefit or loss? It is benefit. 48,000 benefit. Actual expenditure being less than budget is a benefit. You are saving some cost. 48,000 saved. Now actual variable overhead is higher than busted. So 20,000 loss will be there. When actual kharcha is more than busted, there is a loss. When actual kharcha is less than busted, there is a gain. Net benefit of the adjustment. Net is still benefit 28,000. Then that benefit is added here to get actual profit 2,55,000. I have not made any changes in original whatever format I have given you. Only thing is there, from budgeted data I want to reach actual data. I want to put benefit and losses caused by differences in fixed variable overhead, actual and busted. When actual overheads are different than busted, I am going to get some benefit or loss. They are adjusted here. 28,000 is net benefit of the changes and I am getting profit of 2,55,000. This is complete marginal costing statement. Second, analysis under absorption costing. Very simple. To begin with, it has to go with the production units. Production units given in the question are 24,000. There is no opening stock given, so closing stock is bound to be 2,500 units. Opening stock should be 0, while closing stock is there 2,500 units. Because you produce 24,000 and sell 21,500, the difference represents 2,500 units of closing stock. Direct material 24,000, 16 per unit. Labor 24,000, 54 per unit. Variable overhead 24,000, 12 per unit. Fixed overhead 18 per unit. Once you add them, you will be getting the cost of production, and cost of production is at the rate of 100 per unit. You are going to get 24 lakh. 24 lakh will be cost of production. Less closing stock. Closing stock 2,500 units at the rate of 100 per unit. 2,50,000 reduced, you are getting cost of goods sold 21,50,000. Selling overhead are surely on the basis of sold units. Fixed, I put actual amount. Variable on the basis of sold units. 21,500 units into 20 per unit. Fixed is 7,60,000 as given directly in the question. Once you add, you will get total cost. Sale is same as earlier. 21,500 into 168. From there you get is unadjusted profit. Unadjusted profit. What is adjustment? Adjustment is under over absorbed overheads that we did earlier also in marginal costing also. 48,000, add 20,000 less, so net effect is 28,000. 28,000 net got added and you get adjusted profit of 3 lakh. Adjusted profit 3 lakh. Now there is stock adjustment, reconciliation, last part of the question. Last part of the question, reconciliation. Adjusted profit was 3 lakh. There is no opening stock, less closing stock, fixed component per unit, 18 per unit. Fixed overhead out of 100, 18 is fixed overhead, 82 is variable. So 18 per unit on 2500 units. This is to be deducted. You are getting profit as in marginal costing. So any question of marginal versus absorption, follow the simple trick. Make income statement marginal costing. Make income statement absorption costing, in that compute unadjusted profit, adjusted profit. And lastly, reconcile these profits. In reconciliation, only item you are going to put closing stock valuation difference and opening stock valuation difference, whatever is applicable. You are able to reconcile the profit of absorption costing with marginal costing sitting in exam only. You can verify your figure there itself that profit has been verified. What we computed in first statement, we have been able to reach that in the reconciliation statement. This was complete absorption versus marginal costing. So, I am talking about some miscellaneous concepts in this marginal costing. In E category, there will be some more concepts, practical concepts. This is little bit of theoretical concept, which is charts and graphs in marginal costing. Broadly, I am going to cover 3 types of charts and graphs. What you need to understand their presentation only. You are not going to make them in exam. You need to know what is on x-axis, what is on y-axis, and what is being shown in that specific chart. First category of chart that I am going to undertake, break-even chart. Now, what it is going to show? It shows units here, rupees here. What are the main lines that it is going to show you? There will be one fixed cost line parallel to x-axis. This is x-axis. This is y-axis. The total cost will start from here. Under marginal costing, we presume linear relationships. That's why they are all straight lines. There is no curve. Under economics, we study curves even for total cost or other cost. Now, sales revenue will start from origin. This is sales or revenue line. It is also linear, straight line. Now, point at which total cost and this sales revenue, they meet each other. That point is called break-even point. Break-even point. The new thing you are going to understand here, the angle that revenue and cost line make along the break-even point is called angle of incidence. If you can recall, in last question in our basics, we studied increase of angle of incidence. What is the impact on PV ratio? Impact was increase in PV ratio. This angle is called angle of incidence. Angle of incidence. Being vertically opposite, it is equal to this also. They are both same angle of incidence. Larger the angle, higher is PV ratio. Lastly, here I can check break-even point in units. Here I can check break-even point in rupees. My actual sale, if it is higher than break-even sale, the difference can be shown as margin of safety. If my actual sale, let us say, is at this level, then this is margin of safety in units and this is margin of safety in rupees. So on x-axis everything in units, y-axis everything in rupees. This type of chart can be prepared for each product to show your break-evens. Break-even chart is what it is known as. The first type of chart and graph. Number 2. Profit volume graph. In short, PV graph. It shows units here, profit here, loss below. This is zero level. So above that is profit, below that is loss. When you start making sale, you have a fixed cost, so you will be starting with the loss. Once your fixed cost is recovered, what you will be getting is break-even point. After that is profit. So your profit line goes like this. This point is break-even point. This point has to be break-even point. Now this area, loss area. And this is your profit area. Now again, this angle is called angle of incidence. Angle of incidence. Being vertically opposite, it is there also. With the origin, with baseline, you are having the angle of incidence. This is second graph, profit volume graph. I hope this much is clear. Last graph for the day. Number 3. Sequential PV graph. Sequential PV graph applies when there are multiple products. The format is similar to the earlier one. 0, profit, loss, units. You must decide the sequence of products. Most profitable product you will make first, then second, then third, and so on. Let's say there are 3 products ABC. Start with loss. A, B, C. A product, B product, C product. It has to get more flat now. More sale, less profit. Because least profitable is C. Most profitable was A. Hence, very less sale and high profit. From loss, you suddenly jump into profits. For B, it is less slant. For C, it is even lesser slant. I don't think you will make a product with this type of slant. You will not like to make D like this, because if there is negative contribution or profit declines, I will not make that product. So, D I will eliminate. I will not make D. What is happening? I am joining these two extreme points. I am joining these two extreme points to get overall profit line. This angle of incidence shows overall PV ratio, and this is overall break-even point. This is overall break-even point, composite break-even point, the concept that you have done. So, sequential PV graph is a good presentation when there are multiple products. Concept is same as PV graph, only thing is it is sequential, and one joining of extreme points makes the overall profit line, which is making overall break-even point and overall PV ratio shown by angle of incidence there. This is the third graph. The graphs have never been asked in the exam till date. Last 30 years they were never asked. But you should be knowing their basics and how to read them if something is given in front of you. It is part of your knowledge, may not be part of the exam. In last 30 years, never. Last 60 exams, never asked an exam. But you should be knowing them because they are part and parcel of your syllabus. This is complete miscellaneous. Still, E category, you will be getting lots of small concepts there in miscellaneous question category, which we will be doing in the next classes to come.